The margins, gray spaces, and intersections of society are where the transgender community, especially transgender African Americans, have long been relegated to. A new book by an award-winning and in-demand pop culture reporter is set to change that. Tre'vell Anderson is the author of We See Each Other, a Black trans journey through TV and film. Welcome, Tre'vell.
Thanks for having me.
There is a line in the intro to your book that asks the question we as Black and brown, queer and trans disabled communities and beyond ask when we take in any form of media. And it is, will we be seen? What does being seen mean to you?
I think being seen is about having the fullness of one's humanity reflected back to you on screen, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly all together. And more often than not with trans images, especially those Black and trans, it's focused on our trauma. It's focused on stereotypes. It's focused on tragedy. And we never get to a point where we get to see trans people just living and loving and existing as the everyday human beings that we are, right? And so with the book, my goal is to hopefully move us in a direction to where we require more of our media, where we require more of the things that we see on screen to accurately reflect who we are as a community.
How does your point of view as a Black trans journalist become part of the story, and why was that important?
Well, you know, as journalists, you very much so know, they often tell us that, you know, we've got to be objective, that we should not be part of the story, that we should not be, you know, in it. But more and more, I've discovered that this whole idea of objectivity is really just subjectivity from the vantage point of those who are already in power, those who already, more often than not, are the ones enacting the violences, right, on us as a community. And so it was important to use my own personal experience and start from that space and report from there, because so often we talk about Hollywood and entertainment as fluffy, as entertainment, as not serious, as not meaning anything. But the reality is so many of us have discovered possibilities of who we can be based on what we saw in a movie or what we saw on TV. So how can we have that conversation as it relates to trans images as well? That's my interest. That's my goal.
How has sharing your lived experience enriched the book?
Oh, I really think it sets it off, if I'm being honest, okay? I have a lot of personality, in case you can't tell, and I think it really takes what could be a very clinical or like research paper type of topic, and it elevates it, and it makes it more digestible and more entertaining. And so you get kind of the film criticism, but you also get these really beautiful stories from my own family, from my own upbringing. And, you know, I talk about Tyler Perry and Medea in there, and I love just saying that because people are often surprised. You know, you get a little bit of everything in this book.
So, Tre'vell, how can we increase transgender representation both in front of and behind the camera?
Absolutely. I think increasing representation is about resources. It's about giving the resources necessary to the communities so that they can tell their own stories, and then also getting out of the way, right? Not trying to pull the strings, you know, behind and control the narrative, but allowing trans creators to tell the stories as it most naturally comes to us. I think that's how we will begin to see a difference type of representation, you know, in terms of how we're showing up on screen.
Can you talk about the stereotypical portrayal of Black, queer, and trans identities in film and television, and how we can move to more accurate portrayals?
Yeah, I mean, I think folks are just so often interested in our bodies or our transitions or our struggle and our strife. They're not interested in our joy. They're not interested in our moments of triumph, it seems, based on the types of films and shows that we've seen out there. And we're beginning to see more varied, more nuanced representations of the community, but we've got so much further to go. You know, I'm reticent to celebrate the inroads of diversity that we have experienced, because I don't want people to get, you know, too comfortable, right? We've got hundreds of years of history that we're sort of undoing and correcting the record with the types of shows that we see now. So there's definitely still more work to be done. But there's a lot of positivity out there as well. And I think what we're seeing, in legislatures across the country shows that we've got more work to do as well.
Yeah, well, reading your book, hopefully that creates more accurate representation. Tre'vell, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Desiree.
You bet. I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more information. You can find We See Each Other, a Black trans journey through TV and film, wherever books are sold.